Hello friends. So in the previous video, we have actually seen a very important concept, that is, we have seen how a general power electronic device or a power electronic system looks like. So we saw the basic block diagram and also we saw some power quality factors, and in general it was the effect of power electronics on the power system. Okay, all a basic introduction was given. Now we will move to the characteristic and specification of switches. Basically, I have always told you the subject of power electronic deals with the turn on and turn off of switches. Basically, any power electronic device like an SCR or a power diode or a power BJT or a MOSFET, all these things are basically switches. Therefore, the characteristics and specifications of switches are going to be very important, and that is coming in the introduction of the course. Now, in general, if you have followed my course on engineering circuit analysis or electrical machines as such, you always see that I initially talk about ideal things, right? We talk about ideal resistor, ideal inductor, ideal capacitor. In machines, for example, in transformers, we talked about ideal transformers, right? So if you remember, in an ideal transformer, you know that the resistance of the winding is 0, and the excitation current which is required to produce the flux is is 0, tending to 0. And also the transformer core will not saturate, as well as there will be no hysteresis loss. So these are the characteristics of the ideal transformer. So whenever you are making a transformer, you will try to reach that level of an ideal transformer, right? You will try to make the resistance as low as possible. You will make the transformer, you will try to find a material in which the core does not saturate, or it saturates at quite a high value, or it has minimum hysteresis loss. All those things, whenever you are dealing with power transformers, you try to achieve the ideal condition. So that is the best condition, right? So what I am trying to tell is that the motivation, we will put it down into a little bit of literature here. The motivation behind the development of a new device, of any new device, is to achieve the characteristics of a super device, right? For example, you are making an inductor, so you try to make the resistance as low as possible, and all the inductive characteristics, the current and voltage waveform, 90-degree phase shift, you try to achieve all these things when you are making an inductor. Similarly for a resistor and all those things. So the motivation behind the development of a new device is always to achieve the characteristics of an ideal device. Or in the book it is written as a super device. Super device, ideal device are all exactly the same. So why do you want to do that? Why do you want to reach a characteristics of a super device? Because we want to do a comparison. How do you compare? For example, you have made a device. How do you know that it is good or bad? You do that by comparing it with the characteristics of an ideal device. It is close to, for example, a resistor. It has to make the voltage and current in phase, right? And all these properties. So when you are making a resistor, you try to compare that property with the resistance that you are trying to make. Okay. So the basic idea of this concept or this motivation is that the characteristics of the real device can be compared and evaluated with reference to the ideal characteristics of the ideal or the super device. This is the first time I am hearing this word actually in this book. Rashid, they are explaining it as a super device, not an it is called as a super device. But super device, ideal device are exactly the same here. So in today's video, we will be seeing the ideal characteristics of switches. Okay, what is the ideal characteristic that you expect out of a switch? So for that, this diagram will be useful. So basically it is a VCC here. People who are little bit aware about analog electronics, you might have seen this a lot. So it is basically a voltage supply, it's not a problem. There's a load resistance. That load resistance is connected to the ground through a switch. And what is this? This is the gate signal. Okay. So basically the idea is that when the gate signal is given, the switch will close and the current ISW will flow from the load to the ground. Okay, that is the basic idea. So when the gate signal is applied, applied, we will call the switch S. The switch S closes and ISW flows to RL, flows through RL to the ground. So this is the basic idea, right? So I have already told you, in power electronic devices you are having controlled devices also. Other than diodes, all other devices are controlled devices. So whenever you are applying a gate signal, the device will turn on or turn off based upon the biasing conditions also. So first we have to see on state characteristics. What are the ideal on state characteristics? So we will take this diagram to the next page and we will start understanding what are the ideal on state characteristics, right? Okay, yes, great. So we are having this diagram here. So first what we are going to devise, we are going to see on state characteristics. On state characteristics. In case the lecture goes a little bit big, I will just split it into two. Okay. So the on state characteristics is that first one. So when the what is the meaning of on state characteristics? The switch is turned on. That means the switch is in the closed position like this. Right? The switch is in the closed position. So the current will be flowing, and this current which is flowing in the normal operation of a switch is called the forward current. Right? The current flowing during the normal operation of a switch is called the forward current. Forward current. Right? For example, if you have a simple diode circuit here, something like this, simple diode circuit. So this direction, this is the normal direction of the current, right? Because the diode will only conduct in one direction. So this will be the forward current direction. Okay. So it should have huge capacity to handle the forward current. So whatever might be the current demanded by the load, if that passes through the switch should not get damaged. So that is the basic idea. That means the forward current, although it tends to infinity, the switch should not break down. That means its current carrying capacity should be tending to infinity. So that is the basic idea. So first one is the ability to carry a high forward current. Forward current means the current which is flowing here. High forward current IF, and this value will be tending to infinity. That is just to show that it is able to handle huge currents. So the ability to carry high forward current is tending to infinity. So that is the first on state characteristic regarding to forward current. So I will just highlight it a little bit here. So the first point was for forward current. Okay, forward current tending to infinity. Now the next point is that, see, whenever you are having resistance, if you take a simple resistive circuit here, right, you are having a simple resistive circuit. So for example, this is the load and this is the source resistance RS. So when this voltage is getting applied to the load, some voltage is getting dropped across this RS, right? So for example, if this is Vs, this is the source resistance RS. So for example, this is 10 volt and there is a 1 volt drop across here. So the load will be actually seeing 9 volt, right? So we have, this is basic engineering circuit analysis. So similarly, there will be a forward voltage drop, and that is what is called VSW here. There will be a forward voltage drop for this switch also. So in an ideal case, what should be that value? It is a loss, right? That is not needed. Actually, the forward voltage drop should be tending to 0. So that is the next point. A low on state forward voltage drop. See, why we are telling forward, it is because we are dealing with on state characteristics, not off state characteristics. This is on state characteristics. It means that the gate signal is applied, the switch is in closed position. A low on state forward voltage drop, okay, and that we can call it as, in the book it is called V on, that is the voltage across the switch basically. So that V on should be tending to 0. V on should be tending to 0. That means that is VSW only, that I will just write VSW is equal to V on should be tending to 0 here. Okay. Now the third point here. What should be the resistance offered by the switch towards the circuit? Clearly, see, this load is the important part of the circuit, not the switch. The switch is actually switching, switch is actually doing a purpose, but because of that the current or the voltage drop should not increase. So switch should do its performance of just switching on and off. Because of that, electrical characteristics of the load etc. should not change. So what should be the on state resistance of the switch? The on state resistance of the switch naturally should be tending to 0, like so. A low on state resistance, a low on state resistance R on, which is tending to 0. Okay, so naturally, see, when you are having a very low on state resistance, see the power loss associated with this device. What will be the power loss? Let us see. So for example, the forward current is IF. So the power of the switch, power loss across the switch will be equal to I forward square into R on, right, on state resistance of the switch. So if R01 is tending to 0, naturally the power across the switch also will be tending to 0. So a low RON, the low on state resistance leads to a very low on state power loss, very low on state power loss, and that is called as P on. Okay, P on or P switch. So this is the on state characteristics of the device. So basically it should have high forward current carrying ability. Second is that its voltage drop should be tending to 0, voltage drop across the switch, and also the on state resistance should tend to 0. So that is the basic idea. Second one, we will keep this diagram throughout with us, is the off state characteristics. Okay, off state characteristics means once for example the gate signal is not applied, so the switch is in this condition, the switch is in the open condition. Okay, so let us see what will be the on state characteristics of an ideal switch. So see, now when the gate signal is not applied, the switch should not turn on. So whatever voltage I give here, forward voltage or reverse voltage, I can give polarity like this, plus minus like this, or I can give reverse voltage like this. Okay, whatever voltage I am giving, forward voltage or reverse voltage, it should be able to withstand that without failing. Okay, so the switch, the gate signal is not applied, although it is forward condition or reverse condition, whatever be the voltage applied, forward or reverse, it should not fail or it should not turn on because of that. Okay, so the basic idea here is that the ability to withstand high forward voltage or high reverse voltage. You know that in when you study diodes, you have this avalanche breakdown and all. So ideally the switch should not exhibit such characteristics. So that is the basic idea here. Reverse voltage, this is usually called as VBR, and that should be tending to infinity. That means even though you are applying so much high voltage, forward or reverse voltage, unless the gate signal is applied, it should not turn on. Okay, so that is the off state characteristics, or it should not fail. Second point is that, see, sometimes what happens, see, if you see a diode characteristics, again analog electronics, see, if you see the diode characteristics, this is the current and this is the voltage applied. You see, when you applied a reverse voltage, a small leakage current flows, right? Small leakage current flow, and this is the basic graph. So the basic idea here is that even if the diode is reverse biased, see, this is the forward current, right? Based on this polarity, this is the forward current. So if, for example, if this is the polarity, so the current will flow in the opposite direction. Ideally the current will not flow because the diode will be open at that point, right? But there is a small current which flows in the opposite direction, which is also called as the leakage current. So what should that value be for an ideal switch? That value should be naturally equal to 0, right? So in the off state condition, whatever leakage current is there in the forward direction or the reverse direction. For example, what I have told you, if the gate signal is not applied and even if positive voltage is given, it should not allow any type of leakage current to flow, forward or in the reverse direction. That leakage current should not flow. That is the basic idea here. So we will just write down that a low the low off state leakage current. Okay, and what will be that value? That I off will be tending to 0. Right? That I off will be tending to 0. There should be no leakage current through the device. So that is the basic idea. See, the third point is that, see, for on state, what was the resistance? It should be very low, and that means for off state, what should be the resistance? Actually, the resistance should be so high that there is no current or leakage current, etc., which flows here. So the on state resistance should be 0, and the off state resistance should be tending to infinity. Okay, so it should have a high off state resistance, R0F tending to infinity. Again, here also, if you see, basic idea is the leakage current should be low. So naturally, when ROF increases, naturally the leakage current IOF will be decreasing. Naturally, because of that, the off state power loss we can call it as P off, will be equal to IOF square into ROF. So because this is very small, naturally this also will be very small. Okay, so this is constant here, so this is a very, very small value because this is a very high value. So naturally the off state power loss also will be very low. Okay, so that also I will write. The off state power loss is low due to high off state resistance. Okay, so that is the basic idea here. So you have seen two characteristics, on state characteristics as well as off state characteristics. Alright, so I think we will stop the video today. It's I think over 15 minutes already. So just go through this. So what we have seen on state characteristic and off state characteristics of an ideal switch, right? So what did we see in the on state characteristic? We saw that it should have high forward current ability, so IF tending to infinity. So we will summarize that, right? IF tending to infinity. So this is on state characteristics. Next was that the voltage drop, right? V on, voltage across the switch should tend to 0. And naturally, third point important is that the resistance offered during the on condition should be tending to 0. Whereas for the off state, what did I tell you? Because you are not, it is in the off condition, the switch in the off condition. So whatever voltage you are applying, forward or reverse, okay, that VBR, that voltage should be infinity. Okay, it will not get damaged or it will not get affected by that. And next one is that, what was the second point? Yeah, leakage current. So the leakage current IOF should be tending to 0 in off state. Also, the resistance offered during the off state should tend to infinity. So this is for ideal switch. So this ideal switch can be an SCR, MOSFET, IGBT, anything. So basically these are general conditions that you have to see. In the next video, we will see what are the ideal characteristics with respect to the turn on, turn off, rise time, delay time, etc. Okay. So till I see you in the next video, it's me Varun signing off. Have a great day. Now that the video is over, please stay with me for 30 more seconds. Now the vision of this channel is to create a repository of good quality videos with crystal clear explanation regarding various topics related to electrical engineering. Now if you want to help me spread the word, please share this video with anyone interested in these topics. The second thing is that for me, education is a two-way process. Therefore, if you have any doubts or suggestions regarding any of the videos or regarding the channel, please put them in the comments below. We can have a healthy discussion, and that way we can build a strong community of electrical engineers. So that's it for today's video. So till I see you in the next time, it's me Varun signing off, and have a great day. Thank you.